Hello, this is Danny Forrest. Good afternoon. I have been working on a client project helping a company redesign their website. They are a drilling equipment company, and we are in the midst of the work right now. So I wanted to chat with you about your website redesigns, how you optimize your homepage, and the process that we've been going through. So hopefully that helps you as you're thinking about how you could update your website and what that actually looks like. I actually went to yoga this morning. I slept in a little bit late. I was going to go to Raleigh, but an event was canceled. So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to work on my Facebook Live and feel productive instead of like, oh, coming to work late because I went to yoga. So feeling fresh this afternoon because of that. So there's three things that I wanted to talk about for the website redesign, and I will share my full checklist with you as well. So one of the things is to have your offer above the fold and have it be obvious. So I've been talking a lot about story branding and the process that you go through with that. So you have a customer, the hero, who has a problem, who meets a guide, who's called to action and given a plan, etc. So going through that process, and one of the pieces with that is the call to action. And there's two components to that. You have your direct call to action, and you have your transitional call to action. So for your homepage, the eye often moves in a Z pattern. So from the top right to the top left, and then down through the middle. So you want to have your direct call to action at the top right. Speak with a specialist now. Add to cart, whatever works for your business. And then on the top left, that's where you can have your tagline, your logo. And then in the middle, that's where you have your direct call to action again, as well as your transitional call to action. So for example, will you marry me as your direct call to action? And let's go out on a date again as your transitional call to action. Or buy now or speak with a specialist today. So those are examples of direct and transitional calls to action, and then the placements for them on your website. So just remember that Z pattern. Yeah, I guess, yeah, doot, 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 like that. So that is, you want to have those obvious calls to action above the fold when they first come onto your homepage. Next is showcasing your authority. So you are in the position of the guide and the customer the hero. And there's several ways that you can show your authority. And one is through stats. So for example, the number of years you've been in business, the number of customers you served. The other is different awards, certifications, or perhaps partnerships. For example, the company that I'm working with right now, they have really awesome partners and vendors that they're working with. So we are going to showcase those on their homepage, have the logos at the bottom for their potential customers to see. Other examples include case studies, testimonials, and these also put the customer as the hero and the focal point. You know, it's the customer's standpoint with the testimonials. You're talking about how you served a customer and helped them solve a problem in your case study. So this really helps put the customer in that hero position and you in the position of the guide. So in my story branding presentations, I like to talk about Yoda as the guide and Luke Skywalker as the hero. So just imagine like little Yoda on Luke's back. Oh, what was that movie? Return of the Jedi, where he's in the swamps. So that's what comes to mind for me. So that's authority. And we talked about obvious calls to action above the fold. Let's see, what was the third one? Oh, so for the offer above the fold, you want to make sure that you're either promising an aspirational identity, you're helping solve a problem, or you're stating exactly what you do. So it's the offer above the fold needs to do one of those three things. And then it relates to the positioning that we talked about as far as where to place those calls to action. So is it an aspirational identity? Is it helping solve a problem? Is it stating exactly what you do? So choose one of those three for your offer above the fold. So I will share the full checklist with you, and I include templates and example of a homepage outline. So exactly the steps that we went through as far as the H1 tag, the H2 tag, the hero image, including images of success. So I will share that with you, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions. I know it can be overwhelming when you're even considering redesigning your website or optimizing your website, let alone actually like getting into it. And you're like, oh, wow, this is definitely a lot. So I feel that, and please feel free to reach out. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll chat again soon. This is Danny Forrest.